I just picked up this chair. I need somebody to throw it at. There you go. Look, there's a dog. Just a happy dog just like sitting over there. Easiest way to defeat these bosses is just keep doing your special move over and over again. I love this game. Hello and welcome back to Greg's Game Room. I wanted to give you an update of where I am with the modification of my arcade 1-up system. You know, I want to get that set up where I can swap out the control boards whenever I want and still use the original arcade 1-up PCB. So I've made some more progress and I thought I would just go ahead and show you where I'm at right now. Okay, firstly, I did get my clear overlay for the control board, which looks fantastic. They also sent one of these replacement covers in case yours gets all worn off, but mine is fine. I don't know if I'm gonna use this or not. I probably will just go ahead and put it under there anyway. My intention is to mount this control board, this PCB, right here underneath of the controls so that I can just swap this out whenever I want. And originally I didn't know how I was going to mount this on here because I don't want it causing any kind of issues being in direct contact with this MDF. So what I did is I went and I got these little standoffs here. I'll go ahead and screw these in and see how it looks. Alright, so the first issue is it looks like the screw is going to be a little bit too big to go through this MDF. I'm afraid I might puncture through the other side, so I'm just going to have to find some smaller screws, I guess. Okay, so I got these standoffs on the arcade 1-up PCB board. I think I'm going to go with this orientation with them up like this and down so that it doesn't interfere with the sides or anything like that. But now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get the ribbon cable to stay in a nice clean position. I'm thinking get some rubber bands or something and tie it down, or maybe some wire ties and do it that way. I also got these wires. The original intention for these was to use it to power the power button for the Raspberry Pi that I got. Let's check these out. Oh, they're good. It's in a nice ribbon configuration. I think I might be able to get something to work in these connectors right there, maybe. Maybe I can use that to extend the cables out a little bit longer. And then here's the push button that I got for the Raspberry Pi on and off. Eventually this is going to go on the control board that I'm going to put here that goes with the Pi, so it'll be like probably mounted right about there somewhere so that I can just turn the Pi on and off pretty easily. So yeah, can't wait to set this sucker up. And I think what I'm going to do is use this as my control board. This is just a shelf that I found around the house. The same kind of shelves that I have here for holding up my my Atari games and stuff, or my Jaguar up there. Yeah, I think this is just about the right size. See, using this as a template, I can see that it's going to fit pretty nicely here. I will have to do a little bit of trimming to get it the right size. And plus, I'm not going to be doing this exact same layout. I'll be doing the Street Fighter 2 layout. But yeah, I might be able to get a bunch of control boards out of this guy. Mortal Kombat 4 on the Game Boy. This is going to be bad. Oh, this is a Game Boy Color. Okay, well, I can't even tell what these characters are. Oh, this is horrible. In what universe would somebody want to play this? I mean, there's so many better versions out there, including, you know, like the Sega Genesis version, which, of course, I did a review for. This is terrible. Unless you're actually playing this on a real Game Boy, there's like no reason to ever play this game again. Alright, I'm out of here. Alright, well, I found some smaller screws, and I think these will work a little bit better than the thicker ones that I had, the bigger ones that I had. I really don't drill holes when I do this MDF stuff. I really just kind of force it in. Saves me a little bit of time. What I typically do is I'll just kind of twist it back and forth a little bit to kind of get it started, and then I'll just kind of really push hard on it, and then it'll just go in all by itself. No drill holes necessary. Helps if you have like wood screws with a sharp point on them. All right, there we go. All nice and mounted securely underneath here. It's all good and tight. All I'm gonna do is take this ribbon cable and just plug it in. Of course, I will have to get a new power adapter and then plug this back into the main monitor board. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. My buddy Ralph has sent me a board that hopefully I can convert this signal into HDMI. Hopefully it'll work. All right, well, let's see how it fits in here now. Should just fit in just as nicely as it did before. Bingo. That's gonna be so nice. One day I'll just be able to say, oh, I don't want this board in here anymore. Just pull it out, put in another board, plug it in, and we'll be good to go, man. Good to go. Alright, so I hacked this button into the Raspberry Pi. It's not soldered or anything, but it's just a really delicate connection here. Eventually I'll probably solder it, but what I did is I mounted it into the Raspberry Pi here. These black and white cables are for the actual switch. This red cable is the positive, and that's for the LED light that's going to be on this switch. Hopefully it'll work. And then this orange one I just used for the ground. After I turn this on, I should get a nice blue light here when the system is actually on. Oh my gosh, I think it's actually working. Alright, so it's actually on and working. Now I'm going to swing around here and hit the button and turn it off and see if it works just by turning this little, hitting this little button right here. Hitting the button. Hopefully I won't cross the wires by accident. Well, now did it work? Yep, it's working. I turned it off. Wow, that turned off pretty fast. Well, wait a second, the light's still on. It's not exactly what I want to happen. I want the light to go off when the power goes off, so I did something wrong here. But hey, the bright side is I can turn this on. I should be able to just hit this button and there it goes. Boom. I'm gonna have to somehow like cross the wires together in order to get the LED to turn off. But these wires are so tiny. There's a button you can press in MAME that'll just randomly pick a game for you. Sometimes I'll just close my eyes and just like randomly pick a game here. Boom, let's see what I got. Korth. Okay, a game called Korth. I've never heard of it. Oh, it's Konami's version of Tetris. Okay. Oh, am I supposed to like shoot? Oh, this is weird. This is like a backwards Tetris. I guess I'm supposed to maybe make squares or something. Oh, weird. Oops, I just screwed up there. Whew. It's weird, but I like it. Oh, I get it. I guess each piece is a separate piece, and you have to make a rectangular square out of it. Oops. Oh. Very strange game. Alright, I've had it with this thing. I've been trying to manually force these screws up into here. It just ain't working, so I'm done. And it's got to go at a slight angle too. It can't go in straight, otherwise these won't lay flat properly. Just got to be careful not to punch through too far. I don't want to go through the front of the screen there. This is for the LCD controller. It's weird. The problem with this controller and you trying to use these standoffs like I want to do is that the screws are like right underneath here, so I can't, there's no way to screw it down. I gotta put the standoffs on first and then screw this down. So I gotta make sure I measure correctly, which God knows I probably didn't. Alright, so I got all 4 standoffs mounted successfully to the back. Now the real test is to see, did I line up the standoffs with the holes that are here on this LCD controller? Hopefully I did. Hopefully I did it right. Alright, well, after much consternation of getting these screws in here, they're a lot harder to get in there than they look. I managed to get 3 of the 4 in there. This one I couldn't get in because I didn't line it up properly, but I think 3 is more than enough to keep this nice and secure on there. Somehow, if I can get this connector to plug into that HDMI port, I'm gonna be golden. And hopefully that controller board that my friend Ralph is sending me will do the trick. I hope, crossing my fingers. Please work. And I got this speaker bar that I wanna mount to the top of here. But 2 problems. Number 1, I'm gonna have to get some kind of maybe wood pieces right here to stick on the side to keep it from falling down. And number 2, the cable. I don't really want the cable like dangling around and going inside the system. So what I'm going to have to do is drill a little teeny tiny hole right about there. And normally what I would do is I would take this panel off and just do it outside. With these two side pieces on here, it's virtually impossible to get this thing off. So what I did instead is I just got a plastic bag under here. It kind of looks like a hornet's nest or something under here. Ugh. But yeah, hopefully this bag will catch any of the dust that's going to be caused. It shouldn't be a whole heck of a lot, but just a little bit. Probably catch the bag with the drill and make a huge mess. But won't that be fun for you too? Okay. Oh. That's the moment I was waiting for. I'm just marveling at my own work here. That's probably the cleanest hole that I've ever drilled before. Look at that. It's not bad at all. Especially compared to these crappy holes that I drilled earlier for my game center. Poor wee. Alright, so the next test is, let's see if this USB port will fit. I'm betting, and it's not. I'm betting I didn't do this big enough, and yeah, I can already tell. Dang it! It's not big enough. And of course, my second hole is just not as clean as that first one. Well, at least the good news is, this is going to fit in there perfectly, as are these guys. Okay, so I found these brackets from a previous project out in the garage, and I'm thinking somehow I could mount them here so that I can keep that speaker from falling down. Alright, so I got it in there, more or less. Got one in here that's too long and just not threaded all the way through. As you can see, it's kind of a bit loose. And then over here on this one, I was able to find some shorter screws that were pretty solid. They're more like computer screws, but I really don't like them, so ultimately, what I think I'm going to have to do is get some shorter wood screws to go in there. I just don't want to damage the outside of my cabinet, but this will do for now. Alright, so here's what the inside looks like now. Got that hooked up there. The big thing that I did last night was I went ahead and mounted this power strip right here. You can still pop it off, but I just thought it looked nicer that way. And this is the power supply for the LCD controller here, or the Arcade 1-Up PCB board. Got these little stickers and zip ties here to kind of lock it down really good. Got my Raspberry Pi here just kind of hooked up. It's a rat's nest at the moment. At some point I'm thinking I may want to get like a shelf or something in here just to have extra space. I think that might be pretty cool to do it that way. But yeah, that's the current state. Alright, well that's it for this update. On the next update, I'm going to have my control board cut for me, and hopefully I'm going to drill out the holes and put in those arcade buttons and everything, and then I'm going to have those swappable control boards like I'm dying to have. Thank you all for watching, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. This is like an early version of Doom. Like a top-down version of Doom. Uh-oh, it's the Wizard of War. I don't think I've ever seen him before. Where is he? Get back here. Oh shoot, he got me. Oh!